Hey there, this is Beth, and today we're talking about the fire element and your personal relationship with that. Fire is one of those elements I think sometimes scares people. It burns, it destroys, it has a very destructive aspect to it that I think freaks some people out. The thing with fire, for all its destructiveness, within that destruction, it creates new life. When you look at forest fires, what happens is you have that fire and it seems like everything is all gone. But the truth of it is, everything burns down, yes, but it also cracks open new seeds, clears the land for new growth, gets rid of dead wood, and many times why forest fires take off so successfully is dead dry wood. So if you have too much of that, it can help purge pine beetle, things like that. So there is a cleansing within that destruction and a creation that comes out of destruction of fire. And being able to see how that is used within your life. How can I use fire to destroy what I don't need? How can I use it to dismantle old behaviors? How can I use it to move me forward into creation? What will fire do for me for, all those other things they say if you're stuck in your love life? Really anything. If you coupled even like earth and fire, which kind of can be hard because earth will put out fire. It's like water too. Water can put out fire, but water and fire also make steam. So, and air and fire, whoosh, can blow you up. So, but at the same time, maybe you need that blow. Maybe you need to bring that earth in to the passion thing and be a little grounded in your creativity and in your passion to bring in what you want. And knowing how you react to fire is one way that's really going to help you understand if you need to combine that element with another element. To go back to the initiation process I went through, fire was definitely a baptism of fire for me. Whereas air was just like, I'm normal. I'm living my life. Fire kicked me bum. It freaking messed my life up. Not in a bad way, but for the time period I was in fire, I did not sleep very much. I was lucky if I got an hour of sleep in that time frame. And I was very tired by the time I got out of fire because I didn't sleep hardly at all. And by not sleeping, I mean getting up and like watching TV. There was no kind of dozing in and out. It was eyes wide open kind of awakeness. And I learned a lot from it because at that point in time, I really would stuff my anger down. And it helped eventually open up that little box of anger that stuffed down into this really compressed box of anger and work through that and also get to a point where I can be angry and not go off the deep end. So that's, my reaction to fire, very different from my reaction to air. But at the same time, what I was doing, there is quite a bit of fieriness in me. And I was kind of squashing that down, except in its creative aspect. So, you can have one part of that element really flourishing in your life and another aspect of it being squashed down and kind of like shut down and shut off and blocked away, so you don't have to deal with the so-called negative emotions of things like fire, such as anger. And that's really what I had done, is denied one aspect of it while letting another aspect flourish. And so it's kind of a weird dichotomy I had going on there, because I'm a very creative person and I always have been. But during that time frame, I'd spent years trying not to be angry, because anger is bad. Not particularly. Sometimes you really need to feel those emotions so you can heal them And so you can work through them. You're human, and that's what we do. We feel emotions. It's not a bad thing. And working with fire can bring up what we consider some of those baser things like anger. They're really not base. They're just part of their emotions. You feel them, let them be felt. And, there are times where a righteous anger is needed. A righteous anger is what's going to help move situations into justice. Fire also, to me, has a certain justice aspect that usually is associated with air. And I think we tend to ignore that there is a part of justice there in fire that can be brought out and brought out through that kind of righteous anger, the anger that helps create change, that creates social movements and that kind of stuff. The big change, not so much the change on the personal level, but those monumental changes that can occur like in societies. And I think that kind of justice, that huge righteous social justice issues, a lot of that starts in that anger, in the fire. And they destroy. You look at it, it's like what happens. In a way, it starts to destroy the old social norms and mores. So we can have a new paradigm that makes sense for how we are now, that treats all people as equal. And I think that kind of stuff comes out of fire. And knowing how you react to things like that, how do you do it? How do you react to fire? How do you react to your anger, personal anger, self-righteous anger, anger that is well-deserved? Things like that. That is where your personal relationship with fire can really help define things for you within yourself and without that within outside. I can't talk anymore. I wanted to say within outside, which makes no sense. Outside. And so, and it takes creativity and passion and skill to do all that. And there's the other aspects too of passion and sex that go with fire. Other things that if you think, especially in America, we have a weird relationship with sex, especially in movies and things like that, and how women are portrayed and women as sexual objects. And I think, going back to social justice again, obviously fire is very social justice-y for me today. But, there's more than just sex, creativity, passion that fire can be used for, I think, is what the main point is being brought up today. And knowing how you use that relationship between you and the social justice issues can help you change the world by starting with you. So, learning how it affects you, how you want to work with it, can create something that you may not expect to come out of fire. Okay, that's it for today. Everyone have a wonderful day. See you later.